Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. Geeky Sparkles is sitting this video out. I'm going to talk about Mark Hamill, who is the poster child for TDS at this point. And look, I have a lot of respect for Mark Hamill. I love Mark Hamill. I do. I think he'd be okay to talk to in a social setting, but he is completely, as Geeky calls it, pickled by his TDS, by his Trump derangement syndrome. He is obsessed with Donald Trump being the president again. He talks about it incessantly on Blue Sky and probably Twitter. I just don't really pay attention. I mean, occasionally you'll get posts about Star Wars or his movie projects, or you know what I'm saying? And that's what most Star Wars fans want. But this guy just is spending all of his time obsessing about Trump. And now he's extended his dislike of Trump to all of you who helped put him back in office. He doesn't like middle America very much, I guess, and he realizes just how alone he actually is, and it does depress him. So we're going to talk about this. And look, I mean, anybody who is actually paying attention to the climate in the country would not have been shocked by Trump's victory. Americans were tired. Middle America was tired of not being listened to. We just came off of 4 years of one of, in my opinion, one of the worst presidencies we've ever had. We were in a lockdown situation, which destroyed a bunch of businesses. We had people walking on eggshells because they were afraid of accidentally misgendering people and getting fired from their jobs and canceled from their jobs. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. We had to make sure that everybody was, taking their 43rd vaccine this month to make sure you didn't spread the disease. It was crazy. And Americans were tired, and they're tired of not being listened to. And we'll talk more about this as we discuss what he said. But I'm surprised you're surprised, because you weren't paying attention. You and your friends in Hollywood were not paying attention to where America actually was. And it did cost the Democrats, because the Democrats, and you're talking to a former Democrat, and I'm not Republican either, but I am a former Democrat. Democrats lost the plot. They did. The Democrats lost the plot. They used to be the party for the people. They used to be in tune with what blue collar America wanted and where families were at. And then they just got more and more insane and more progressive, to the point where it doesn't even resemble the Democratic Party that I joined. It's nothing like it was 20, 30 years ago. It's insane. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about insanity. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, hey, this is insane. What's going on with YouTube right now is absolutely insane. Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com. Sign up for our free newsletter. And every time we upload a video, we'll send out an email blast letting you know that we upload a video. And you might get, 3 or 4 of those a day, because we do upload a lot, different stories and live streams and such. And we're doing this because nobody knows what the hell is going on with YouTube. I'm going to be honest. Like, nobody knows what's going on with YouTube. This is not just an us problem. It's not even a problem specific to people in our space, the commentary space, the pop culture space. It is a platform-wide issue that even big YouTubers like Phil DeFranco, Red Letter Media, Linus Tech Tips, they were talking about it, that there is a noticeable drop in views. And we first started seeing it in May. There was definitely an algorithm tweak in May. And then just a couple of weeks ago, I'd say it's been about 2 weeks, a catastrophic change in the algorithm, where it seems like every third video is the only one that gets seen. And some people are blaming the AI age restriction on it. I don't know if that's really what's going on. I think that whole thing is part of a bigger algorithm tweak. And my personal opinion is that algorithm tweak is designed to make YouTube as much money as possible, but not the use on YouTube, right? It's designed to push shorts because YouTube puts more money in their pocket from advertising from shorts than they do from long form videos, because the split is different. And also, I think to push corporations and vetted media outlets, because it's pay to play. That's what I think is going on. And eventually, either YouTube will get its head out of its ass and realize that you need the use on YouTube, or they're just gonna run headfirst into the wood chipper, and it's just gonna be all AI slop going forward. And eventually, normal people will stop watching, because what are we watching? I don't know. But I'm telling you, for now, if you want to get notified, please go out to news.clownfishtv.com. And also, you've got a couple hours yet to back Geeky's pins over on Kickstarter. Geeky Sparkles, Glowing Ghouls, Retro Enamel pins. These are going to, if we get them paid as soon as we get paid, they'll be here probably the first or second week of October, and then we're going to turn around and flip them, get them out to you guys as fast as we possibly can, hopefully to get them to you in time for Halloween. I cannot guarantee Halloween delivery, but we will try. If you're international, you're probably not going to get them in time for Halloween. I don't know. So it's, Canada probably, but everybody else, I don't know. But we are going to try, barring any unforeseen situations. And God knows the world is full of unforeseen situations. A situation that everybody should have seen, though, is America voting for Donald Trump again, especially against Kamala Harris, who was not even, she was anointed, basically, right? I mean, there was no primary. They just put her in, and she was a disaster. And there's a reason they were hiding her for years. Most people didn't even know how to pronounce her name because they never talked about her. So, I don't know what they did. Like, she was in the back office just shuffling papers or something. I have no idea. I don't know what she did the entire time she was vice president, but she definitely did not win the hearts and minds of most Americans, except for those in LA and New York, Portland, you know what I'm saying? And the only reason she did that even was she wasn't Trump. So the last election, it wasn't even Trump versus whatever other candidate. It was Trump versus not Trump. And I think the only reason Harris got the majority of votes that she got was because she wasn't Donald Trump. And people in Hollywood, like Mark Hamill, seem to think that the entire country thinks like he does, because he's surrounded by other people that thinks like he does. And, they lost the plot, right? And that's why they're surprised. You shouldn't have been surprised at all. If you were actually slumming it with Middle America and asking Middle America where they were at, they would tell you that they were not on board with, a lot of what the Democrats were doing. And a lot of people, I'll tell you, I know several people in my own circles who have never voted Republican in their entire lives, and they voted for Trump. I did not see that coming. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see that coming. But they were so fed up with the direction of the country that was like, you know what? Put him back in, because the last 4 years have been absolute hell. So get this guy back. Not my ideal president, but let's get him back in office and try to, right the ship a little bit. Anyway, this has come from The Wrap. Mark Hamill says he's really ashamed America voted for Trump twice. The second administration's on us. I'm in the minority in my own country. Yes. And I think I don't think he read my comment, but I did tweet at him when he put that post up in November. And I said, with all due respect, Mr. Hamill, the reason he got reelected is you guys lost the plot. Like you're out of touch with Middle America. And you all should have seen this coming. The only people who thought Trump wasn't going to get reelected were on MSNBC and Blue Sky, right? And then Blue Sky, they like rage quit Twitter because they're like, no, all the Nazis. So he was on the Mark Maron podcast. And speaking of Mark Maron, they have a Kickstarter for his book too. So he kind of, regardless of what you think of Mark Maron, and I know he does not like Trump, that's an understatement, but he kind of brought podcasting back, right? Like podcasting kind of died, and then the WTF podcast hit, and then all of a sudden, everything's kind of blown up again, and now he's noping out of that. But apparently they're doing a comic book of his podcast, which is kind of weird, but Why not? Why not? So this was on, the podcast. Mark Hamill is once again voicing his opinion on Trump and his 2.0 administration, expanding Monday on why he thinks the reality TV star turned politician might sadly be the leader America deserves. You deserve Trump. It's one thing for him to have sneaked by the first time when he got reelected. That's on us, he said. He said, that's where I'm really ashamed, because I always thought there are more decent Americans, honest Americans, than there are others. Others. You've been othered by Mark Hamill. If you voted for Trump, you've been, just going to assume. At least he didn't call you a Nazi. I mean, that's, that's kind of out of vogue now, I guess. They just, try to come out from a different angle. Like, you're an other now. It proved I was wrong. I'm in the minority in my own country. Well, yeah. Again, the reason you were blindsided, Mr. Hamill, and again, I do like Mark Hamill. I just think it's really, really sad that as he's getting older, this is probably what he's going to be remembered for, is just like having meltdowns about Trump. I wish you'd spend your time doing something else, but whatever, you do you. You want to, that's fine. But I think a lot of Star Wars fans even are going to be like, oh, wait, so I'm another now? Like, what the hell? And I know there are people who weren't getting his autograph at conventions because they're like, the guy is just way too political. He was getting too political in some of the panels he was on. I know he was going off about Trump, and it clearly is in the back of his mind constantly, like a hum, like a drum. It's like he can't talk about anything else without inserting some discussion about Trump into it. And everything you read about him now, it's all about Trump, 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 and Hamill doesn't like Trump, and blah, 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 blah. It's not the first time Hamill has expressed frustration over how Trump's reelection reflects on the state of the U.S. No, if you go out to Blue Sky, it's every damn day. That is literally all he talks about. Occasionally, he will pimp his movie. I think he's contractually obligated to talk about his movies, but his whole timeline on Blue Sky is literally just anti-Trump, blah, 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 blah. Goes on and on. Meanwhile, Colbert's going to be fine. He's got a 7-episode series on Netflix. That'll totally replace his show on CBS. But, $13 million for 7 episodes. That's pretty damn good. Anyway, it clearly weighs on him. He's clearly obsessed, and he doesn't get it. And look, obsession is a dangerous thing. I know some other people that are obsessed with people they don't like. And at some point, it really just becomes very, very sad, because it's like, how is you screaming about it gonna change things? Does it make your life better? Is your quality of life better because you can rage about Donald Trump daily on Blue Sky? Is your quality of life better that you can rage about YouTubers you don't like every day on your own YouTube channel, because everything's about these guys. These guys have ruined everything for you. Does it make your life better? I mean, you don't have to like people, right? You don't have to like people, but at some point it just looks ridiculous. It just looks sad. Like nobody's asking you to like Donald Trump, but you can't even have a conversation. What do you want for lunch? I don't know. Does it matter? Because tariffs, and now the bread costs more because of Trump. I can't enjoy my sandwich. It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. I can't go to this movie without thinking about what Gary from Nerdrotic is going to say about it. Oh boy, I can't wait to get home and post on my community tab about Gary from Nerdrotic, because I hate him and I love him. I can't quit him. It's just really, I mean, this is what it feels like with Hamill. It's just like, he's so obsessed with Trump. It's like, I can't quit you. I love you and hate you. It's just make out with him already, Mark. I mean, you want to, right? It's just like, you're so obsessed with this guy. He said basically in 2016, they didn't think that he was going to win. He thought he was kind of a joke. I'm going to be honest. I thought he was a joke. I thought it was like, is he like the meme candidate? I mean, like, this guy he has no chance of winning. And boy, I was wrong. Boy, howdy, as the kids like to say in 1952. I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. But he's like, yeah, I don't know. Some English people were asking him about Trump, and he said, I don't know a single person who can stomach him. And that is a problem because you were in LA and you're surrounded by other people who think like you do. And LA and New York make up a very small part of this country. They have a disproportionate voice. And that's what people are pushing back against. Not being heard. And Middle America, especially, the Rust Belt especially, they felt like they weren't being heard. They felt like they were being dismissed. We had articles out there from these, Ivy League graduates turned journalists, very elitist attitude. They should learn to code, and the world's moving on without them, and blah 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 blah. Plot twist: those blue collar guys have more job security than those journalists. I'm just saying, things are changing, and really, he should have been paying attention, but he lives in the Hollywood bubble, so he wasn't. And he was like, yeah, I just thought he was a buffoon, and I didn't think he had any chance of winning. And but I'm disappointed in America. He's disappointed in America. And then he was going to move, but now he's going to stay. I guess his wife talked him into staying to make sure he could just tweet about Trump all day. Is that, I don't know. Like, look, Mark, you're always going to be a Luke Skywalker, right? But now you've turned into Jake Skywalker. It's just sad. I mean, it really is just sad. It's not positive. It's not fun to go to your socials. It's not even like good-natured ribbing, like occasional Trump joke. It's like, it's obsession. And it's never fun to watch people have obsessive meltdowns about other grown men. It's actually kind of weird. But like, I would hate to think, and look, I hope Mark Hamill lives as long as Shatner, like he lives to like 114, right? But I would hate to think that Trump is the last president that he's around for. And this is how we remember Mark Hamill, like cursing out Trump. Like he will have it on his headstone. I swear to God, this guy is just like, he's going to have like 2 middle fingers up for Trump on his headstone. So we know he was one of the good guys, unlike the rest of us unwashed plebs. Just very, very sad. And this is this attitude, the others, this is why Trump won. Didn't have to be this way. If there was a good Democratic candidate and people felt like they were being heard by the Democrats and not herded by the Democrats, they probably would have won. They wouldn't have put Trump back in. But you know what? Your side helped get him reelected by showing that you're completely out of touch. Just my opinion. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.